Okay, so today we continue with our class Shabbos Home, and we start with the Sefer Chofetz Chaim, and big topic is the same to Alice, constructive listening, and it says lending an ear, right? So it's one of the exemptions that we mentioned before, and it says there is an instance when one may listen to the hills, although the information is not at all pertinent to him. When the individual is experiencing sadness or extreme anxiety and is in need of someone with whom to share his frustration, it is considered an act of kindness to lend sympathetic ear and listen to his troubles. One must be certain, though, that the circumstances do in fact demand this. Also, such expression should not become a regular occurrence for the speaker. Finally, care must be taken that the speaker not wander from the matter at hand and offer negative remarks which are not relevant. One may also listen to the hills if his intention is to make the speaker understand that his perception of the situation and of those of whom speaks negatively is mistaken. Okay. Okay. So let's start from the beginning, and we're going to explain lending an ear. Okay. There is an instance. There are instances where one may listen to the hills, although the information is not at all pertinent to him. So before that, we said constructive purpose, meaning that information that being shared, it has to do something with us or somebody close to us, that it could be considered constructive for whatever reason constructive, right? But here we're allowed to listen to somebody. Many times it would apply to spouses, but it should be again on a one-time basis. It's not always. Okay. So again, continue. When the individual is experiencing sadness and extreme anxiety, and in a need for someone with whom to share information, right? So now we're talking about extreme anxiety, sadness. Something happened. Somebody's angry, and they want to share with us what happened, what somebody said about us or about the family, about them, right? All these things. Okay. And the need of someone with whom to share the frustration. It is considered an act of kindness to lend a sympathetic ear to listen to their troubles. Okay, so far so good, right? Sympathetic ear. One must be certain, right? Meaning, of course, just to remind us, I'm not sure, it does not say here, maybe it did, but we're not allowed to believe whatever is said. Okay, we just, when you sit there just listening, that the person would feel better, right? One must be certain, though, that the circumstances do in fact demand this. So meaning it's really that you see that person is in a depressed state, very sad. Okay, so otherwise, right? So if a person is in good mood and try to share with you information, absolutely not. Also, just such expression do not become regular occurrence to the speaker. So meaning if it's one time something happened, but somebody who is always in depression, so it would not be allowed to listen to them, and who sees all his life or her life in negative colors. Absolutely not. Finally, care must be taken that the speaker not wander from the matter at hand. Right, so meaning if they allowed, we are allowed to listen one topic, so it does not mean that now that they have to add all of the negative information, right? And offer a negative remark which are not relevant. Okay, one may also listen to the hills if the intention is to make speaker understand that his perception of the situation. Right, so meaning if you're trying to help it's only in situation when, it does not say here, but we said before, maybe I think we did, right? So it's a type of the person that he or she is going to listen to you. So if they want to just spill out all of the guts and all of the negativity that inside of them, and they're not going to listen to your advice, to see you, to listen to your opinion, maybe they are not right. So okay, so in this case, you would not be right. It would be forbidden for you to listen to them. To offer your opinion. So if you know that this person respects you, there is a possibility at least they're going to listen to your side, to your view on what happened. Then yes, otherwise not. So in the second exception, of course, when somebody is in this sad state. Okay. Stop here. So let me see if you have any questions on what we said. It's sorry. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So this started the halacha of writing, and we said that because of the right. So we started chapter 2, and the topic was activities prohibited because they might lead to writing. Right, and for first example, we said borrowing for a long term. I'm not sure how is it. I mean, most of the time it would not going to apply to us. Even that, the examples that Talmud gives, it's only because nuances of the Hebrew language. Right, borrow for a long term or borrow for a short term. And in the case of the long term, people usually write down, but for us it's not really making a difference. Okay, and we said what is the solution. Okay, so continue. So part number 2, and transfer ownership. Right, so transfer ownership is a business transaction. So it's not allowed to buy and sell, right? Because it's business transaction, and even giving gifts is business transaction. Of course, there is a way to do that and acquiring other things, but let's see. Okay, transfer ownership. The sages prohibited doing any type of transaction on Shabbos because the parties to transaction often make written records of it. Okay, today, for example, we have receipts, right? Cash register would print your receipt, but in olden days, they would maybe write down on a piece of paper, right, that you pay me such and such amount, right? It would be written notes. Okay. Thus, it is forbidden to buy and sell, as well as rent or lease any article. Again, all of this business transaction, buy, sell, right? That doesn't matter which side you're from buying or selling, as well as rent, right? So you give something of your own to somebody else for some period of time, right? Lease, okay. Lease any article. It is forbidden to give gifts on Shabbos since the transfer of ownership has a nature of transaction. So gifts, if you think about it, what is giving a gift? Like it was mine, I gave it to somebody, he say thank you, and it's his now, 100%. So I cannot take it back. Same as if I sell something to somebody, he gave me money, that's it. It's it's his. Okay. Right, so that's gifts. Continue. Many poskim rule that it is similar forbidden to relinquish ownership of the item on Shabbos by declaring hefker, ownerless. Since this too is somewhat like a transaction, let us elaborate on each of these points. So hefker meaning that I renounce my ownership, and whoever takes it is going to be new owner. I can take it back, for example. It's going to be mine, or somebody else can take it, so it's going to be his. Right. So, for example, there is there is what is it? When we take out the garbage cans, so I can put the chair. I don't know, like old chair. But then I decided because it's old, it's not rusty, but like paint is peeling off, and then I decided, you know what, I better sand it down, and I'm going to refinish it, and it's going to be beautiful chair because it looks like it's 200. This chair is from 1900s, 1800s. You know, so I might go to take it back, but somebody else wants to take it, and I say, no, it's mine. Guess what? Yes, it's next to my garbage piles, but since I put it there, that's it. It's hefker. So meaning, if he has the one who picks it up has all of the rights. I don't have rights. Just because I yell it's mine, it's nothing, right? You have to do act of acquisition. So hefker meaning. It's ownerless, so whoever takes it's his. All right, so part number 1, buying and selling. It is forbidden to buy and sell on Shabbos, even for the sake of the mitzvah, right? No money, and money is muktzah. Right? For example, even Erev Pesach falls on Shabbos. It is forbidden to sell chomets to a Gentile on Shabbos. Okay, so before we continue. Right, most of the people, not all of the people, but most of the people sell their homage to a non-Jew, right? And usually transaction is done on Erev Yom Tov, Erev Pesach. Let's say Pesach is on Wednesday night, right? So Wednesday during the day, like it's specific time, it's usually before noon. Maybe before even 1 hour before noon, right? 11 a.m. I mean, we count by halakhic hours, so by the 5th hour of the day, they must sell it to a non-Jew. So meaning, whatever I had already eaten, whatever I saved for a breakfast, I already finished. Whatever I had over like extra, I destroyed. Right, and the rest, whatever is in my house, unopened boxes, like whatever beer, let's say people have vodka, whiskey, all of this stuff, right? So these things must be sold to Gentile, right? And it is business transaction. So we collect the addresses, the this and that, from all of the people, and then the rabbi goes with all of the information to a Gentile, and it's actually the legal transaction, right? But sometimes. The Pesach could be on Motzei Shabbos. I don't remember when. Maybe I think it was this year. I think it was this year. Maybe I'm mistaken. Right. So in this case, you're not allowed to sell on Shabbos. So what do you do? Right. It's on one hand it is a mitzvah to sell or destroy. On the other hand, on Shabbos you cannot. Right. So it's a good question. We're going to answer it. On Shabbos, similarly, it is forbidden to perform redemption of the firstborn, Pidyan Haben, on Shabbos, since this resembles buying and selling. Right. So if somebody has a firstborn, we go by the woman, not by a man, but by a woman. So it hopefully she did not have any miscarriages. Right, and no other children before, so there's a boy, so he's the firstborn, and the father must redeem him from the coin. So he better find a legit coin and not a clown that say that he is a coin and he's not Shomer Shabbos. We don't need a coin like that. A real coin you find, then you give him five silver coins. He asks you, okay, the child is mine. You understand? So what do you want? You want a child, or I should keep it? I should keep him, right? So for a source of base image. And normal father, of course, he said, no, I'm going to give you money. No. So he has to give him 5 coins, and it's a business transaction. Right? You got your child back. You give money, got your child back. Right? It is likewise forbidden to rent and lease anything on Shabbos. Right, so you have a hotel room, or you have a house, like rooming house. And sometimes people do rooming house. They check in, check out, like every like I don't know, every day something is going on. Okay. Continue. The prohibition of buying and selling pertains even to items that are needed in honor of Shabbos. right? Even items that need it in honor of Shabbos. There is, however, permissible methods to obtain from a store an item that one needs on Shabbos. The following are conditions. So on one hand, it is forbidden to buy and sell on Shabbos, but as we said, even for a mitzvah. But if you're not going to formally buy or sell on Shabbos, it is allowed, right? So here's methods how to do that. One may not mention the conditions, right? One may not mention expression commonly associated with buying and selling. Right, so it's nothing to do you show with your attitude. There's nothing to do with buying and selling. Okay, because of what? How do you know? Because of the wording. No wording says that I want to buy or sell. And second one may not make any mention of payment. That's it. Right? No mentions of payment. Okay. So, to clarify, number one may not mention an expression commonly associated with buying and selling. This means one may not mention that he needs product of certain weight or value or weight. Okay, so what is a value or weight? So you ask, give me 2 pounds of apples or something, right? Or candies, right? Or weight, so weight or value. So give me a child would come, and he would collect money, and he said, "Give me nuts for $3. That's all I have, $2." Right, and that he collected, that he saved up. Right, so that's for sure sale. So no value, right? In money wise, and no weight. For example, one may not say, "Please give me $5 worth of candy." So that's would be forbidden, right? And of course, maybe person know, maybe salesperson know. Usually when they say $5 worth, they have to weigh it out. But okay, let's see if there is some other calculation. Maybe he each candy cost. Let's say it's a candy bar, right? So he said, "Give me candy bars for $5." Okay, right. Right. Or please give me a pound of nuts. Okay. Since this expression is commonly used in relation to sale, right? So that's why it is forbidden to use this expression, meaning a specific weight or value. The mention of certain value is known in halakhic literature as shem damim. Right, and mention certain weight is known as shem midah. Okay, so meaning these two again, value and weight. The mention of the weight is forbidden, even if the item was packaged according to the weight. So there are 1 pound packages of nuts. So you cannot tell them, give me 5 pounds of nuts, right? So you intend 5 packages. It's not like he's going to change anything in the package because they seal, but that's not allowed. Thus, one may not say, "Please give me 1 pound box of chocolate." Right? Okay, but 1 pound box of chocolate, meaning it's sealed. Right, so if you say box of chocolate, there is no problem. Right. The proper way to require a large volume of certain item is to mention the exact number he needs. For example, one should say, "Please give me 10 apples." Okay, maybe 10 apples. Apples are very heavy. 10 apples could be 2 pounds, maybe even more. Right. So he said, "Please give me 10 apples." Okay. Or please give me 2 clusters of grapes. Oh, so you don't care how heavy they are, doesn't matter. So 2 clusters of grape, that's what I need. So meaning he's buying a lot, this person. Thus avoiding any mention on value or weight. So that's first condition. Any expression associated with buying and selling. Now about money, right? One may not make any mention of payment. One may not say, "I will pay the merchandise after Shabbos." Okay, I mean, today on Shabbos, nobody is going to pay because money is muktzah, so you're not allowed to handle the money. First of all, right? But even to say that you're going to pay him after Shabbos is also not allowed. However, one is permitted. To tell the storekeeper, I will come into terms with you after Shabbos. So what is, I will come in terms with you after Shabbos? It can mean anything. Right? Maybe I'm going to give you apples back. I don't know, something. Right? So of course, I mean, store owner understand that he's going to get paid. Right? So it's not for free, and right? But there is no expression of money is meant here. Okay. When these conditions are met, there is no appearance of the sale, and one is therefore permitted to take the item he needs. Of course, right? Of course, we understand it's only in circumstances. I don't know what happened. Refrigerator broke. This, that. I don't know, something like very specific circumstances. Under normal circumstances, nobody should do that ever. Right? However, as mentioned above, this applies only either to the items that one needs for Shabbos use, right? Meaning that the after Shabbos use is not good. Furthermore, it goes without saying that the storekeeper may not open the store in a fashion that does on a regular basis the business day, right? But may merely enter to give the client the item he needs for Shabbos use. For example, during the day it's still light from outside, so he would leave this metal gate. Hopefully there is air roof. I mean, so he can remove the locks. Let's say there is no security alarm. Let's say, right, nothing. So he can enter. Hopefully there is no light when he opens refrigerator door or something. I don't know. So meaning that he can open gate halfway. So just enough for him to get in. So now you show the whole world it's some kind of emergency, urgent situation. It's not like I'm open for business on Shabbos. Okay, right. All right. So continue. The following illustration will serve to illuminate the preceding rules. A camper may approach the manager of the camp food canteen, right? Canteen. On Shabbos and say, please give me a large bottle of soda and 3 pieces of candy today, and I will come into terms with you after Shabbos. Okay. So he said exactly the number. He described 1 large bottle of soda. Not good. All of these campers, right? Too much sugar and all of this. Okay, but okay. So he said only mention numbers. No problem. Okay, so next one, giving gifts, and with this one, many people is confused as just to remind us. We finished not long ago laws of Yom Tov, and they said on Yom Tov you're allowed to give gifts. What is the difference? It's one of the differences. I mean, usually we say there is almost no difference except that you can cook and carry. Yeah, but there are some other differences. And one of the differences that we're allowed to give gifts on Yom Tov because it's actually the giver usually derives pleasure. Right? I mean, normal people like to give gifts, right? They bestow kindness on other people. It could be better. So, it's for a Yom Tov need, in some sense. Okay. So, and I think, if I remember correctly, we said even if this gift is not exactly for a Yom Tov need. Okay. So, giving gifts. It is forbidden to give a gift on Shabbos since the transfer ownership resembles transaction. Again, it was mine, I gave to him, it's now his 100%. I cannot take it back. That's it. Right? It is even forbidden for a husband to give gifts to his wife and the parents to give a gift to his child. So it's not only people from outside of the family. No, even from husband to wife. I mean, how's the transaction? Do they sell each other things? I don't know, maybe. Hopefully not, right? And from parent to a child. There is a dispute among the poskim as to whether the prohibition applies to giving gifts to a Gentile. Okay. So why would it be lenient? I mean, on Shabbos we said that you're allowed to pay. We're going to say that you're allowed to pay a Gentile if he did some work for us on Shabbos, and was like actually almost like in some sense hired on Shabbos, right? There is, however, one exception. So, but again, there is a dispute. Okay. There is, however, one exception to this prohibition. It is permitted to give a gift on Shabbos to enable the recipient to perform a mitzvah. Okay, so we can give him a gift so he can perform a mitzvah to illustrate. Mitzvah tzitzis requires that the person wear his own garment, that the tzitzis attached. Thus, if a guest who comes to a synagogue has no talis, right, big talis, talis gadol, his fellow may grant him a spare talis as a gift on a condition that he returns it, thereby enabling him to properly fulfill the mitzvah wearing it. Right. So in order to fulfill the mitzvah of tzitzis, you have to wear your own talis. Right, and usually when you come to shul, like in all of the shuls, I've been to before the entrance to the shul, there are many talis, many. So sometimes even regular people use them. But mostly it's for guests. Okay, so they come, they take. So technically, when these people, when shul, whoever donated them, and gave it to shul, so it actually belongs to the whole community. And then when they were dedicated with the idea that it belongs to all of us, to all congregation, and plus all of the guests. Doesn't matter until the end of the days. So a guest is part of our community, right? And if he takes this, talis, it is his. So he can take, so he can make blessing, and wrap himself in this talis. It's very interesting, right? Or here he describes the case of individual. Somebody can give it to me. For example, I don't have a talis. I don't want to. It's a bad example. One person does not have a talis, and another said, "Look, it is a gift for you." Right, but with condition that you're going to return to me. So now that person, if he knows halacha, or we have to explain to him, so now he can wear the talis and he can make the blessing. Right. So it is gift, but again, usually talis is a gift with the condition to return it. Furthermore, some poskim rule that it is permitted to give someone a gift in order to encourage the recipient to do a mitzvah. Thus, parents may promise a child on Shabbos that if he learns well, he will be rewarded with a gift. And parent may then give a gift on Shabbos. Okay. So some poskim say that to encourage somebody, I mean, it's usually children and some people, I don't know, some other people. Right, with a mild mind of a child, right? So you can ask them, you can promise them a gift. So if they're going to do something, right? If they're not going to smoke on Shabbos, let's say, so he's going to get gift. Okay, no problem. So in this case, so again, it's my minority opinion, but it exists. So if a really important mitzvah, so we can apply. Okay, so next the subsection permissible. I apologize. It's subsection permissible methods of giving gifts on Shabbos. Right. Even when a gift is not needed for the purpose of the mitzvah, it can be awarded if the transfer ownership does not take place on Shabbos. This can be accomplished in one of two ways. So now. Even as in examples above, where we say if he needs this talis gadol in order to pray. Okay, that's for the mitzvah, and he needs it, right? But sometimes it is you can give a gift even if person does not need it on Shabbos, right? But the transfer of ownership must be before Shabbos, meaning the delivery is going to be on Shabbos, but a transfer of ownership before Shabbos. Okay, one of two ways. Number one, the donor should hand the gift to the third party who is not member of his own household before Shabbos, right? It's all any day before Shabbos, and have this party lift 3 tefachim. Tefach is a feast, so like 3 inches, 3.5 inches, right? 3 tefachim from the ground. From the ground, I mean, if the item was laying on a table, so you have to pick up like 3 tefachim above the table, and same with other things. Okay, so this is kinyan, right? Right before Shabbos, and have party lift the 3 tefachim from the ground with intention, very important, to acquire it on behalf of the recipient. So meaning what? So before we continue, so meaning that you need the person, third party. So in this case, he said preferably not his family member, right? And this person is going to be shaliach. So shaliach, so the one who is going to be like a extension of my hand in some sense. So I want to give to somebody, but I can appoint the messenger for me, right? To deliver, right? So okay, so he can pick it up, taken from my hand, for example, pick up like 3 tefachim above the ground or above the table. And his intention to acquire on behalf of recipient. So now I apologize, I did not say it correctly. He's not my representative. He's actually representative of the recipient. I apologize. He's representative of recipient, but recipient never appointed him. I just appointed him, right? But it is what he was appointed for the benefit of the recipient. The recipient automatically acquires the possession at the time, although unaware of the fact. So as soon as this person, this third party, lifts this item for the recipient is the person whom we want to give a gift. So he automatically acquires, even though he's not aware of the fact. So like, how can he be owner of something if he does not know? That's very simple. In Halacha it says that if our action would be beneficial for the other party, meaning if he would find out that that's what we want to do on his behalf, he would be very happy and love us very, very much because of that. So that's it's automatically like even without his knowledge, even without consulting him, whatever I do is good for him, right? I'm getting him a gift. Okay. The donor may then retrieve the article from the third party. So first he gives to third party. Third party, he represents recipient. Now we can take it back. So now it belongs to recipient 100%, right? Now the donor can take this article from the third party and hand it to recipient who already owns it on Shabbos, right? If it's his, for example, he left something in my house on Wednesday. So he came to learn with me on Wednesday. He left some things, and now I can, let's say we have Erev, and I brought him to the shul kistin. What's the problem? Right? There is no problem. It's his. It's not. There is no transaction. So same is here. Since the transaction was before Shabbos on Friday, so he's the owner of the thing, right? So it doesn't matter who is going to deliver. I'm going to deliver, or this third party is going to deliver. There is no problem. So I can deliver as well, because it's his. It's already his, right? Number 2, one may hand the gift to the intended recipient on Shabbos with instruction that the recipient bear in mind not to take title until after Shabbos. So I mean, it's a little more simplified, but it's also work, right? What do you give it to him, but you say, look, only after Shabbos it's going to be yours. So until after Shabbos, have in mind, do not acquire it. Okay. I think if he say, okay, I agree or something, that's enough. I think even if he's going to forget, even if he's going to forget to consciously acquire it on after Shabbos, it does not matter. I think. So I mean, he will acquisition, meaning he's going to lift it, but maybe it's not even necessary because it's in his premises. Okay. So C, relinquishes ownership hefker, right? So and of course when the law we're learning the laws of Yom Tov and laws of Yom Tov, and as we said many times in that book, is only synopsis from these two books, right? This actually two volumes of this book, right? It's only only thing that pertains to Yom Tov. Of course, we add many things that pertains for Shabbos, but most of the stuff there was only for Yom Tov. Right, and of course we understand about garbage, right? It says about Yom Tov when it's 2-day Yom Tov. We will learn what to do with the garbage, right? About nuts, you're not allowed to tie nuts, but even to take it to the garbage pail, also a problem. Why? Because you make it hefker, especially it's right. It's there for a pickup of sanitation department. That's a problem. Okay. Okay, so again, relinquishing ownership hefker. According to many paskim, it is forbidden to declare something hefker or ownerless on Shabbos. Declare. So meaning, right. So if I want to bring something from my house to shul and I don't need it, and so people might get confused. Maybe somebody forgot, maybe this and that. So I would write hefker. Hefker meaning whoever wants to take, let him take. Okay. Since the formal relinquishment of the ownership is tantamount to the transfer of ownership, right? So meaning transfer from whom? From me, which is my thing, to whoever claims it. Nevertheless, one is permitted to throw something out in the street within the area enclosed by Eruv, even though the object automatically becomes hefker. So, meaning we're talking about garbage. I mean, usually people don't throw anything on Shabbos, right? Again, in a case of need. So we try never ever do it. And sometimes, in this year, I think. I mean, it was today Yom Tov, and it was one of the scheduled garbage pickups. So we did not take the garbage cans back. Could somebody steal? Yes. Could it get ruined? Absolutely, right? But guess what? It was stayed there for 2 days, right? And it did not get stolen, did not get ruined, and nobody threw anything there. Guess what? So Hashem was protecting all the time because it's technically it says that if you need it for Yom Tov, you have a lot of garbage there, and you need to take it. To the garbage pail, so maybe it's not maybe it is different, but we don't have such so much garbage over 2 days that we have to throw 2 times. I don't know. So that's the blessing. Okay. Moreover, for the sake of the mitzvah, it is permitted even to formally declare something hefker. Right. Thus, even on Erev, right. So again, so technically, you can throw something out, this garbage, of course, and you can announce something hefker for the sake of the mitzvah. What? Of course, on Erev Pesach, right? On Erev Pesach, after we do destruction of chometz. So in regular days we can burn it. It's proper to burn it. But also I'll say if you destroy it from this world, how destroy it from this world? You flash down the toilet, right? So and that's when when the first day of Pesach is Sunday, I mean that's the only option that you have. And after you destroy, whether by burning or flushing down the toilet, you have to do this declaration. So everything, all homage that I did not find that belongs to me, it's not like dust of the earth to me. It's nothing, right? I renounce it. So when you renounce something, right? You just say in general. Maybe I do have cookies, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just if the cookies there that I did not sell, like a line between the cabinets or something, right? So it is hefker. That's it. It is hefker, right? Right. So it's not mine. Meaning I renounce it. So it's not mine. Okay. Right. Okay. So let me see. What is this chapter? One second. Okay, so let's continue. All right, so it was about hefker. It's a very, very practical book. This Rabbi, he's a genius. I mean, to put everything together in one sentence, he encompasses a lot of laws, like very precise, very, very precise. Okay, so part number 3, measuring and weighing. The sages prohibited all forms of measuring and weighing on Shabbos, whether for commercial or personal purposes. So we're talking about like mechanical weights. Not I mean, today most of the weights are electronic, but even with mechanical one, right? Measure and weighing, there is for commercial, there is of a commercial nature, falls under previously mentioned prohibition against engaging in a business transaction. So business transaction is what? Somebody came to you to buy something, your apples, and you weigh them apples. So you have an apple tree in your backyard. Okay. Right? That's for sure, it's a commercial transaction, business transaction. Okay. So weighing is a part of business transaction. Although the transaction is not yet concluded, I mean, right, so you just wait, but you still needs to get money, right? Need to get paid. Concluded. The sages forbade the measuring and weighing itself. So you cannot measure and weight, right? So measure, it's a liquid measure, right? Lens measure, whatever measure. Okay. Meaning measuring and weighing for a personal purpose is forbidden because they fall under the category weekly activity of the whole. Okay. Okay, so and actually under the weekly activity are going to fall many things. Examples, and we had a question about if you can exercise on Shabbos or something, right? So, and the answer, you cannot exercise, like even in your house, like you have a treadmill, let's say mechanical, nothing, right? So why? Right? So I mean, there's no electricity. So why you cannot do that? Or a bike, right? You cannot do that because it's weekday activity, right? So many things. Even without melacha, they're weekday activity, right? And same playing games on Shabbos. People ask me about the games. I know those. I mean, the people who are not our students. Let's put it this way: some random people, not random people who listen to us on the internet, right? Right. So it's is it like prohibited? Is it what is it? What exactly melacha is? This one, the weekly activity. Okay. So let's see. Note. Uvdodechol is a category that includes 3 types of activities. Okay. A, activities that resemble melacha. So it is not melacha, but resembles melacha, right? B, activities that might lead to melacha, right? So it's next step. Activities that detract from the holy and elevated our aura of Shabbos. So the Shabbos, you get a special soul, and to use it to play with a ball, like, or to play card games. What card games? Like so people in such a bad shape, like spiritually. That's what you want to do, like with the holy soul. It's like you have a golden bar, and you want to bang nails with that because it's heavy. Okay, that's, I mean, it's, right, comparison like that. Okay, so continue. A. The scope of the prohibition. It is forbidden to measure weight with a specialized instrument such as a ruler, tape measure, or scale. So all of these things, like not all of this, but it's actually like general law that if you do something in with a special instrument, it's going to be forbidden on a biblical level. So in not with a specialized instrument, sometimes it's forbidden on a rabbinic level. So, like for example, we're not allowed to use like special instrument for sorting, like a sieve or something, like the spoon with holes in there with preparation. That's not allowed. But a regular spoon you can use. There is no problem. So because it's not special instrument. Right, okay. It is forbidden to measure or weight with a specialized instrument such as a ruler, tape measure, or scale, right? Or you know, or even if you know that the dimension of the notebook, right? What is it? A11 or a size, whatever. So you know how many centimeters this way or how many centimeters that way. Okay, so it's like a measuring stick. Okay. As well as not specialized object, such as stick over a certain length or a stone with a certain weight. Okay, right. So meaning or as a notebook, as I said. Okay. So commentary. Not the specialized instrument, amukce, under the category utensil of prohibited use. Right. So what is it? Keli shlamachtam leisur. Right, so there is kelim shlamachtam utensil prohibited use. Okay. Continue. It is also forbidden to measure without using an instrument. For example, to measure the size of a room by counting paces or tiles. So, for example, you know these tiles 9 by 9. Actually, you know what? It looks larger than 9 by 9. It's probably foot by foot. That's it. So, and if you count how many tiles this way, that way, I can calculate the size of the room. Right. So there is some people with empty minds. That's what they do. Okay. Continue. The prohibition pertains to measure for business purposes or personal purposes, including preparation of food. Right. Thus, it is forbidden, except in the case of illness, see below, to weight food on a kitchen scale to determine the proper size of serving, or to dole out the ingredients, right, for a recipe in a precise amount with a measuring cup. So measuring cup, they have, we have a measuring cup with gradation, but even like a small measuring cup. So it says 2 teaspoons, a half teaspoon, or like, I don't know, a quarter teaspoon, or 1 tablespoon or something. So this is a precise measure. So we cannot measure this, I don't know what recipe. Technically we cannot cook on Shabbos, but some recipe, I guess. Okay, measuring cup. However, one may use a measuring cup to pour ingredients if one does not measure precisely. So meaning you put whatever and just pour there, no problem, without being precise. But utilize the cup merely as for approximation. Okay. It is similarly forbidden to weight oneself or measure one's height, and it is forbidden to hang a thermometer outdoors in order to determine the temperature. Right, so let's see. It is forbidden to weigh oneself. Let's see, they have these bathroom scales, right? A mechanical one, again, right? Because it's measurement. Measure one's height. And usually they measure children's height. Adults, I don't know, for whatever reason. And it's forbidden to hang a thermometer outside because also it's a measure on temperature. Okay. B. Exclusion to the prohibition, meaning measurement. Measurement for the sake of the mitzvah. The sages did not prohibit measuring or weighing when it is needed for the sake of the performance of mitzvah. Thus, it is permitted to measure cup to determine whether it can hold sufficient amount wine on kiddush for kiddush, and to wait. Okay, so before we continue, so for example, you bought a new cup, and usually these cups are not straight, right? The different nice shape, because it should not be straight. I mean, it could be straight, but usually people buy like all of this unusual shape, beautiful shape. So guess what? So it would be it would be allowed, because if it looks to you too small, right? Too small, and you're one of the Chazanishniks. Right, Chazanish is Zatzal. He gave us the most what is it? The strictest measures. Right, it's I think it's 5.1 or 5.2 ounces. Right, I think it's 5.1. So it's a lot. Right, in grams, it's like what is it? It's like 150 grams. But we actually go by the measure 86 grams cc grams, the same thing. You understand? So if you go by his opinion, and this cup looks too small to you, yeah, you can measure for sure, right? Usually the cups, I mean, if you ask people in the store, that they know how big is the cup. Right, but if you did not check and now you have to do kiddush, yeah. So at least you know how much to drink, maybe, right? Or you weigh matzah to determine the proper amount to eat on Seder. So maybe I guess maybe it's a broken matzah or something. I don't know, some not standard ones, because even if you buy machine matzah, for example, the square ones, I mean you know there is 1 pound box for sure. For sure, it's a 1 pound box, and I think there is 8 pieces, and you divide, and then you get the measurement. There is no problem, right? But if you buy also 1 pound, but this round matzah, you also can measure. Like in most of the cases, you measure only once in your lifetime, and you would know. I mean, because it says on the packages that they sell you 1 pound. They're not going to sell you 1.5 pounds, right? So that's the thing. But if person needs to wait, well, they can wait, no problem. So again, there is to weigh the matzah to the proper amount to eat for Seder. I guess maybe. So I think I have a better example. Maybe the minimum amount, right? The minimum of the minimum amount, like how much this person can eat. Okay. Not the proper, but the minimum. Okay, continue. Likewise, it is permitted to measure the distance of 2,000 amos that one is permitted to walk from the outskirts of his town on Shabbos. Right. So this 2,000 amos, meaning when inside of the house, inside of the town, you can walk as much as you want. Right. Even if there is no eruv, if you're not carrying anything, there is no problem. Right, but outside of the town, only 2,000 miles. 2,000 amos, it's 0.6 miles, approximately 1 kilometer. Right. Continue. Number 2, cases of illness. Measure for the benefit of ill person is considered a mitzvah, and it is permitted. Thus, it is permitted to measure a precise dose of medicine or precise portions of food. So they give you like a measuring cup and say, take 2 tablespoons every 3 hours, let's say. That's what you must do, right? Thus, it is permitted to measure a precise dose of medicine or precise portions of food. For example, the doctor said take only this and that, but no more than that, let's say, some specific food. When a patient's condition requires this, a specialized instrument may be utilized for this purpose. Again, you're doing for mitzvah for a sick person. Similarly, although taking a person's temperature or blood measure, or blood pressure, is in form of measuring, it is permitted when it is necessary to determine whether one is ill or to determine the extent of one's illness. Right? So you don't know a person has temperature, not has temperature, so you can measure. So of course we're trying to minimize, even though we are allowed to do these things, but we always try to minimize transgression. How? For thermometer, you would have a mercury thermometer, the old style, and to measure the blood pressure, the old style, like with this thing you put in your ears and you listen on the pulse, on right. That's not the electronic one. Right, so it's proper. So you allowed, yes, but if you can minimize the transgression, that's what you must do. Even when it is necessary to take a person's temperature on Shabbos, one should use ordinary mercury thermometer. Okay, the tip may be dipped in petroleum jelly. Okay, if needed. The thermometer may be shaken down before the use, but should not be shaken down afterwards. So before the use, you can shake down, because otherwise how you would know the temperature, right? As I know, maybe a mistake, but I think that this mercury thermometer, it's not going to go down, right? It can go up, but never down. Okay, so you need to shake it, so in order to know what the temperature. But after you finish using, there's no point for you to shake down, right? So meaning that you changing the temperature, changing in double quotes. One should avoid using thermometer strip that is placed on the forehead and upon which the numbers become visible, right? The one they put on the forehead. Why? Because it's, in some sense, it's like you're writing the numbers. Of course, you're not right. The numbers were there, but it's in some sense. Unless no mercury, so a person should not use this thermometer strip that is placed on the forehead upon which the numbers become visible, unless no mercury thermometer is available. But we just learned now that if you don't have a mercury thermometer, the old style, go get one. Right. The digital thermometer may not be used at all on Shabbos, except of course of life-threatening situation. If a life-threatening situation, you can use whatever you need. But we must be prepared. You never know when next time you has for shalom. We should never need it. But guess what? Most likely once in so many years you would need it. Okay. An infant is regarded as an ill person. All right. So always. Right, until we said till some time, until 3 years old, it depends on the constitution, right? Of course, we try to minimize. Even we're allowed to do things, we try to minimize the transgression. One is therefore permitted to weigh, to weight and measure foods or liquids for an infant. So the formula stuff like that. So it's a precise measurement, no problem. I mean, if you can divide into containers before that, maybe it's preferable, but not strictly necessary. Right. So for infant, we can do one is therefore permitted to weigh and measure food or liquids for an infant, even with a specialized measuring spoon. A healthy person who is a weight reduction diet may not measure the precise portion on Sabbath. Of course, they're going to tell you, no, don't skip a day, this and that. So, okay, you can skip a day. Right? Weight reduction diet. Okay. So continue. And last subject, number 4, issuing judicial ruling. So judicial ruling meaning the Beis Din is closed on Shabbos. And the main point is this melacha. Might be because when they pronounce a judgment, they have to write down. So I want to know exactly why the judgment was like that, right? So you have a right to request the write up of their decision, and maybe you want to go to somebody else and show them and see what other rabbis say. There is no problem. So since they're not allowed to write down. Right, so the court is closed. Okay. so we actually finish this chapter. Oh, perfect timing! Wow. So let's see if we have questions on this topic. Okay, so let's try to answer. Okay, so the first question on the topic with Raf, is it the same? So if could you please yourself on mute, please? Okay, I'll do it. Sorry. Do it. Yeah. Okay. It was excellent. No problem. All right. So the question is it the same with a trading object on Shabbos? For example, like trading food item for food item or book for a book. Is it also forbidden? It is a very good example. Right question. Trading food on Shabbos. I mean, usually we give food as a gift. Right? I give them this gift, they give me another gift, so there is a little leniency. But trade books forever and ever, I would say they're right. So I give you this book, you give me another book. I would say it would be forbidden. It would be forbidden because it's transaction. They call it barter, right? They discuss it in the Talmud. Actually, that's what we learned today. So when they say equal barter, approximately, right? Even approximate value. The case in Baba and Mitzvah was when one guy came to the market to sell. The guy, well, why are you here? So I want to sell my cow. So, oh, you want to sell? 1 second. Okay. So he said, yeah, I want to sell my cow, and I want to buy a donkey. And the guy said, oh, I have a donkey. Right, very strong donkey. Maybe it's a good value. Maybe we can exchange, and that's it, right? And they exchange. So that's, I mean, of course, the story is not so easy. Like one pulled the cow, and another automatically became owner of the donkey, but that donkey died. Okay, so these exchanges would not be allowed on Shabbos. Foods. I mean, I would say if it's a food needed for Shabbos, if you eat together, it would be the best. There is no problem. Okay. So next question. Are these transactions without mentioning weight or value, where one states that one will come into terms after Shabbos, allowed to be done in a store owned by a non-Jew that opens his store on Shabbos and is familiar with the concept, let alone knows us well? Yes. So we had not too far from where I live, right? There is a Korean guy. He's been having this grocery store for 40 years or so. Like maybe he's a second generation. I think I told you, I don't know. So they know all of the Jews, and all the Jews come to them wherever they need. The guy writes down. He speaks a little Yiddish as well, and that's it. So he knows that the Jews are going to come after Shabbos, and that they pay for sure, or the next time that they come, right? So in all of the Jewish stores, when you come to buy, they ask you what is your phone number. What number? So if like some people like shocked, like, well, why are you asking my phone number? Like I just want to pay for my grocery, or what is my phone number have to do with anything? So they actually have a database, and sometimes people buy on credit from the store because they don't have money to pay, right? And then for example, the guy gave his phone number, and the lady the cashier said, you know what, actually the balance is $700. How much you want to pay? He said, how much is this grocery? She said, $70. He said, I want to pay another $100. Okay, toward the thing. That's why it's That's why you always tell them the phone number. No, of course, I mean, of course, there are people who are thieves and they cheat, but most of the people are absolutely honest. And we see like kids, like tiny kids, I don't know, 6 years old, 7 years old, and she would come to the store like with her little brother, and like it's unbelievable. And they would pay. Sometimes they say, no, please put it on our account, right? And the owner would give it to them because they check the account, of course. If it's they know people, they know the parents, they would give. Right. I mean, it's only in Jewish neighborhood, as you understand. Nobody is going to sell with something like that nowadays in age. I'm talking about not from 100 years ago, not from 700. I'm talking about today. Right. Today, that's how Jews do the business. Okay. Right. So if it's not Jew, there is no problem. He can even write down. Right. Oh, what is your name? And okay, you can tell him your name, and he's going to write down. So okay, all right. And he, of course, I mean, he can tell you like the price, or he can write down. I mean, these people who work like in this area, they don't cheat. I mean, that's their customers, right? Right. So continue. Rav, is sharing our food and something on Shabbos considered giving gift? No. Food, there is no problem. So people can come to you on Shabbos, like after Shabbos started on Friday night. You invited somebody, right? So of course, let's say he went to your synagogue or right. Let's say you pray together, and now you're going back home, right? His family goes to your family. And then they bring a bottle of wine, cake, whatever they bring, there is no problem. Well, of course, if there is Erev, no problem, right? Because you're going to eat it together. Food sharing, no problem. Nice one. Could a husband give nice clothing as a gift to his wife on Shabbos for the purpose of fulfilling the mitzvah of looking pretty for him? Can. No, it's proper to give it before Shabbat started on Friday, because all of the fights in family, yes, one day occur on Erev Shabbos on Friday before the candlelight. All of the fights in the family, right? So that's when you give gifts, not on Shabbat, before. Right. Continue. Does the permission for ill person apply also in a case of ill person who needs to walk on a mechanical treadmill or under the prohibition is not performing any it's just one second, sorry. Treadmill or is under the prohibition of not performing any weekday activity. Again, I would say it would preferable to just walk outside, because treadmill is always like exercise. But when you walk back and forth, nice weather, that's a different story. So, but again, does the permission for ill person to apply in case of ill person needs to walk on a mechanical tread? For example, it's for physical therapy. So, for example, if a person has a muscle spasm or something, and doctor said you have to walk every day, like 10 minutes, 15, half an hour, let's say, half an hour every day. So in this case, it's So if it's like otherwise, they had this muscle spasm problem, so you would be allowed, right? It's because of the sick person, but otherwise not, right? So, but it should they have to warn you about serious consequences if you don't do that, right? Otherwise, it's weekly activity, of course. Okay, a few minutes. Are we allowed to acquire something that is hefker, something someone threw on a street within the Eruv, and we find it, if it is not muktzah to know? No, but that's the point. I mean, it's hefker, but it is acquisition. It is acquisition, so we should not do it. It's hefker, so yeah, let it be hefker, right? Without us, right? So next one, right? Question about fear, and. It's a long question. So I mean, for me to answer, let's stop here. 5 minutes break, and we continue after the break. 5 minutes. So we continue with laws of Yichud, and in chapter 3, and we're on a section of super shomrim, right? So special relationships. And now the next topic is what was the previous one, the shomer that not actually in a room. Right, and the next one is halachic concept and application regarding shomer at night. So we said in just to remind us, in case of the super shomer, this seven kind of relationships, even if he's the only shomer, it is enough, right? Even at night. But in regular shomrim, we said two shomrim needed. Okay, so that's a huge difference. Okay, so continue with the next point, halachic concept and application regarding shomer at night. And it says, as noted earlier in A4, right, some time ago, the exemption of shomer is limited during the time referenced halachically as night. Right, limited. A lone ordinary shomer, there is a who is not super shomer, right, is not adequate to permit yichud at night. Okay. So meaning, as we said before, again, we need two. Okay. There is during his bedtime hours. So meaning, if usually he goes to bed at 10 p.m., let's say, so like after 10 p.m. he's not exactly good shomer, because he's likely to become drowsy and fall asleep, right? So and people do not care. And the seclusion of man and a woman is this unguarded circumstance is conducive to arise conduct and therefore forbids state of yichud. Right. So meaning because this supposedly shomer, like during the day, yes, this person is a good shomer, but at night when it's his regular bedtime, so it's he's not a good shomer, and it's going to be 100% forbidden. Yichud. Okay. Continue. Number 1. Definition of night. Okay. As explained earlier in A4 above, night is with regard to the exemption of shomer means one's bedtime hours. So meaning whatever these bedtime hours for that person. There is a time time at night when a shomer would ordinarily retire for the evening and and is likely to fall asleep. So if somebody is kind of insomnia, it's a different story. But if somebody usually person goes to sleep 10 p.m. wake up at 5:30, like 5. So that's he was working, she was working the whole day. So most likely they're not going to wake up. Most likely, right. So at this time they're likely to fall asleep or doze off. If you're going to tell something, they're going to doze off on a couch or something. There is whether he's in bed or on a couch, exactly, day bed, or similar furnishing comfortable for the rest. Meaning what? That he's going to fall asleep even sitting. Right. Understandably, if the shomer is a child, his or her bedtime hours would be earlier than that of the adult. Okay, so meaning, as we said before, this child is actually can be a good shomer. His daughter, her son, for example, right? It's going to be good shomer, but only during the normal day hours, not at night. It follows that whereas an adult shomer, for example, one sibling, father or mother, so right, who might normally retire late at night, for example, 12 a.m. Could permit Yichud until that time, right? Could permit Yichud until that time, meaning that usually these people are not going to sleep. This would not be true in the case of a child, shomer, whose normal bedtime much earlier. They go to bed 8:30 or something. Thus, one must realize that 6 years old child, whose bedtime is 8 p.m. exactly 8. I said 8:30. Cannot be a shomer past that time, even while he's awake. So, meaning, yes, he's awake. He's walking on a ceiling, but at this point, but he's climbing the wall, but he's going to fall asleep like suddenly. He's going to drop. Because he's likely to fall asleep at any time, leaving the two adults unprotected. So that's the thing. So we go again night, and night definition depends on who we're talking about. Continue. Next subsection, I guess. A shomer is up late, talking on the phone, reading at the table, etc. Okay. However, there is a basis to infer that in a condition that uncomfortable for a proper sleep, for example, the shomer is sitting in an ordinary kitchen chair, not on a couch or a recliner, right? So meaning most likely he's not going to fall asleep. Reading a book or talking on a phone, his lone presence can permit Yichud, even very late at night. So meaning because he's not asleep and most likely he's not going to doze off. I mean, if it's possible, but still. Even though it is possible that he might briefly doze off while in this position. There should certainly be a rule when the shomer is talking, taking these steps deliberately for the purpose of staying awake. Right. Deliberately for the purpose of staying awake. Okay. So meaning some people chew ice, putting these feet in the cold water, like in olden days, but that's hopefully we don't need to do that. Okay. So next subsection, shomer is still asleep at the very early hours in the morning. Right, that's also a problem. There is a basic in logic to suggest that exemption of shomer permits Yichud at the daybreak, even the shomer is still asleep at this time. Right, so meaning the neshama knows that it's time to wake up, right? It can be argued that the person is more likely to be awakened at the daybreak hours, even it is normal for many, when it is normal for many to arise, than during the evening sleeping hours, when it is normal for most to retire. All right, so it's very interesting logic, but it actually, if you think about it, makes sense. So, if it's hours that most likely, like for him to wake up soon, or for many people to get up at this time, plus minus, he's a shomer, even he's in sleep. But in the evening hours, so subconsciously, person knows, I have the full night in front of me. So I was trying to look outside. Is it light or not? So if I need to get up in the middle of the night, so I usually don't check time. So just pray for Hashem. It would be still very early. All right. So again, early in the morning, no problem, right? So but again, it's exception. At night, a problem. So even though he sleeps in that way, in that case, it follows according to this reason that the principle of Yichud at this hour would feel uncomfortable. Principles in Yichud at this hour would feel uncomfortable if shomer is present, meaning but he's going to get up soon, even if asleep, out of the fear that make him suddenly stir and wake up and awaken. All right. So meaning you never know, because it's time for him to get up anyway soon. Continue. Based on this premise, a male boarder who knows that the man of the house left at daybreak to travel out of the town would not need to vacate the premises if a shomer, for example, their child, 6 years old and older, is in the house, right? So there is 3 people, woman and her husband and child, and this 4 people, and this border is some not related to them, well, some person, right? Stranger. I mean, not stranger. He's staying with them, right? And the man of the house left for a business trip, right, at the daybreak, but the child is there. So meaning the child is going to be shomer even if he's sleeping right now. He may. So meaning he does not need to leave the house. 1 second. Let's see how it is. He may remain in the house, even though the child, who is the only valid shomer, is still sound asleep. Okay, no problem. Continue. Similarly, a male guest who realized very early in the morning that his hostess teenager son has left to yeshiva, hostess teenage son, leaving only his widowed mother and 6-year-old sister, a lone shomer, asleep in the house, would not be halachically required to depart from the premises and may stay until later in the morning. Right, so that's also a good example. Let's just repeat it and explain. Similarly, a male guest who realized very early in the morning that his hostess teenager's son left to yeshiva, so, right, leaving only his widowed mother. His widowed mother and 6-year-old sister as a lone shomer. So who is the shomer? The sister. So there is no problem. Okay, because again it's early in the morning, right? And of course, sister is sleeping in the house. Would not be halachically required to depart from the premise and may stay until later in the morning. Okay. Continue. However, some present-day poskim are stringent in this regard. They argue that very early morning must be regarded as bedtime hours. So they say because the sleep is the strongest, I guess. I don't know. Since most of the people typically sound asleep at that time, meaning it's very hard to wake up in the morning, right? In practice, one should be stringent. Very interesting. According, so meaning that this poskim say doesn't matter. It's 1 a.m. whatever, whether it just went to bed or early in the morning. Okay. So conclusion. Accordingly, the aforementioned male border who finds himself in Yichud very early in the morning with only lone shomer should try to leave the house. For example, daven with very early minyan, vasikin, right? Because it's halachically it's considered like night, right? Vasikin and shul. However, if leaving the house is not possible or extremely difficult, he may remain but should lock the door to his room. Okay, so meaning that the lady of the house would not go to his room. All right. So meaning since there is a more stricter opinion that these early morning hours are same as late night hours. So right, if you can go somewhere to daven, so it's better. If not, he can just close the room, lock the room. Okay, continue. The same would apply in the formation guest who realizes very early in the morning that permissibility of his yichud in a house is reliant upon a lone shomer. A lone shomer again at night is not working out. That's the thing. So and we compare this early morning hours to the late at night. So he should try to vacate the premise. However, if living is extremely difficult, he may remain but lock this door in his room. Okay, so we stop here. Very interesting. So let's continue with our questions. Okay, so next question. We have a question about fear. Fear and its punishment. Fear and its punishment. Okay. Is in Imunai Bitachon series, Rav Reuven Shlita mentioned how he bought emergency medicine, just in case, and got punished for using it right away as a measure for warning need need to use it. Okay. I wonder should one avoid buying emergency medicine and thermometer because of this? It's a very good question. Let's say again. Question about fear and its punishment. Fear and its punishment. In the Nabi Tochan series, Rav Reuven Shlita mentioned that he bought emergency medicine. I'm not sure what's emergency. Okay, something, and just in case, and got punished for using it right away as a measure for warning need to use it. I wonder should what buy an emergency medicine thermometer because of, no, it's not. Okay, so that's a very, very good question. So first of all, we're not allowed to rely on miracles, right? So Hashem said that I created the world in perfect manner. So and I call it nature. So you, right, to be a believer in Hashem, you have to follow the nature. And if Hashem decided to do special miracle for us, like that He would do for Abraham Avinu, so He's going to do. But otherwise, we follow the normal ways of the world. Meaning, if you have a pain or something, of course you pray, or you try to give tzedakah, try to talk to Rabbi, but Rabbi told you go to doctor and see what the doctor say. Of course, you give tzedakah, you pray, you do everything that you have to do, but you still go to the doctor because it's a way of the world. That's what Hashem wants from us. So if it's like normal for a person to cut yourself, like not normal, like some people don't cut themselves often, to like maybe once in blue moon, but other people cut themselves maybe because the skin is more tender, something like that. Doesn't matter, from time to time. So if you know that you need the band-aids, you have to buy band-aids. So if on Shabbos you start bleeding, what are you going to do? Right? Or forget about Shabbos, not even on Shabbos, like on Wednesday, like what are you going to do? So somebody's finger is bleeding or legs is bleeding, they're going to go to the store, like stay in line. It's not what we do. You buy whenever you need, and hopefully you say, hopefully I'm not going to use it. But if in case I might need it, so it is there. Or somebody has, so we had this doctor in the show. I mean, he moved out, but he had in a place where he sit, he had several the shots, syringes, right? Like disposable, right? Syringes with, I don't know, for diabetes. I have no idea what, but why? Why? Just in case somebody needed it. So meaning what? I think there is some diabetes and I don't know, whatever. Some people with heart problems. So he had medicine there. What is the problem, right? That's normal if person has this condition. So it's not a big secret that this person has a heart condition or diabetic condition. So a person should have a medicine, and it actually says in halacha, even in a case where there is no eruv, you're allowed to carry the medicine if you're afraid that you might fall in the middle of the state and you need some medicine. Sometimes we learn in Nishmat Abraham, right? It's medical halacha. So sometimes people would need a cube of sugar. That's it. That's all they need. Otherwise, they go into the shock and coma and maybe die. You understand? So of course you cannot put it in your pocket. You cannot put this and that. But there is in a hat, behind the brim, something like that. So they would allow. Like a very unusual manner. very unusual manner, yes, you're allowed to carry, because for you it's real life risk. It's not like maybe if somebody has no problem with diabetes and he start like carrying this the shot or something, like just in case. That's would be calling for trouble. But otherwise, like if it's known fact, there is no problem. There is no problem. Okay. All right. So continue. So next question. Could I have petroleum jelly is the same product as Vaseline? Yes, yeah. I mean, petroleum jelly is original name from I don't know when it was invented, 200 years ago. I don't know, long time. Vaseline is a brand name, like more new one, right? Newer one. I mean, it's all old, but not as old as petroleum jelly. Yes. Okay. So next one. I have a question about giving gifts on Shabbos. Okay, since it is permitted to give gifts to enable a recipient to perform the mitzvah, I wonder if it's permitted to give gifts for giver to perform the mitzvah. Giver is the one who gives. Continue reading. For example, a beautiful utensil for Shabbos meal has not been yet tovel yet, and yet allowed to give it to others and borrow back to use on Shabbos. I think we don't do that. We don't do that. Okay, so let's read again. So technically, like if something was not tovel before Shabbos, step back. So all of the dishes, all of the utensils, whatever you eat for food, that actually touch the real food, the edible food, right? And it made of all of these things that we're going to get very soon to in our kosher kitchen class. Next chapter after that. I mean, now we're on the koshering. So I mean, it's the next step after koshering is tovel in the mikveh, like logically. So right, so all of the things that you must tovel, meaning like I simplify, right? Meaning metal and glass, right? Meaning that you must tovel, right? So I think they're muktzah. If you did not tovel, there is no use for them. Right, so technically after the fact, but we still, I think that would be muktzah, 100%. And you're not allowed even to do it beit hashemashos. So some people they don't have time, they give it to a non-Jew, so they borrow from them, but then you have to kasher. That's too much. That's too much. We don't do that. Okay. Okay. So that's not a real gift, right? Okay, so continue. Okay, so continuation on a question. So let me read the question again. Can a husband give a nice clothing as a gift to his wife on Shabbos for the purpose of fulfilling the mitzvah of looking pretty for him? Actually, it's the bigger mitzvah than looking good for a husband. It's actually like Shabbos, the respect of Shabbos, like to the queen. It's not like to him, but to the Shabbos itself. Right? That's a problem. So when we wear something for the first time, like even it's something like a socks or right, something, so you can say like Shabbos. There is no problem. You don't have to make shechianu or something like. But or some undergarments or whatever you wear brand new, so it's like over Shabbos, right? So you especially prepare. Do not wear on Wednesday, Thursday, but on Shabbos, right? So okay, second part of the question, I was referring to whether giving clothing as a gift to our wife could become permitted on Shabbos, because of the being of sake of the mitzvah. No, it's not that. It's not that mitzvah that they need it for Shabbos. No. The mitzvah for Shabbos, for example, is the example that he gave is a talus. So yeah, you need talus to pray in, but the wives, we have to have in our hands that she's pretty, the way she is always, right? What I need for her, nothing. She's the best. She's the most prettiest. That's it, right? And okay, and right. So yeah. So there is not this specific mitzvah that she should be pretty to her husband on Shabbos. All right. So continue. Question about exercise on Shabbos. Okay. Is one allowed to stretch or use a restraining bands on Shabbos? So it is actually the stretching is a big day activity unless somebody has a big pain, right, or something, and they have a spasm in the muscle and they need to stretch. That's a different story, because a person cannot sleep, cannot walk, cannot move, right, cannot sit on a chair straight. Yeah, that's a different story. But otherwise, yeah, we don't do these things on Shabbos. Okay, so next one. Next a question about soul when one's sleeping. That's our next topic in the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, right? All of the laws we're going to Beezrat Hashem. I'll learn next Tuesday, right? Everything about sleeping position. Many times people ask in this class even about sleeping position, like in the middle of the night, beginning of the night, end of the night, middle of the night. How do you know? With men sleep with a kippah, without kippah, all of these things, Beezrat Hashem, we're going to address next Tuesday, Beezrat Hashem. Okay, so again, question about soul when one sleeps, when one sleeping. Okay, since we pray, who released the bound in Birkas HaShachar. Okay, I wonder if one is able to move when the part of the soul departs to Shemayim. If not, when one turning over in a bed, does it mean that the part of the soul comes back for a little bit? Oh, that's a again, it's back to Shemayim again. How about sleepwalk? Right? Sleepwalk. Even not sleepwalk. How about going to a bathroom, like in the middle of the night, right? So, right, or sleepwalk. Very interesting. So again, question about soul when one is sleeping. Okay, when one is sleeping, so it says the one part of the soul is actually leaving the body and goes to Shemayim to make a report what this person did during the day, right? And since we pray, who releases the bound? Who releases the bound? I think we have to double check what does it mean, who releases the bound. Meaning that the person will laying down like almost without moving. That's what it means, right? So it's like he or she were bound, with a rope. But now they can walk. Okay, of course there is maybe deeper meaning, but that's what it is. So in Birkas HaShachar, I wonder, is one able to move the part of the soul, the parts to Shemayim? Right. I think that there's Neshama part stays, I think, right? So it stays. So it's actually right. In this part that responsible for physicality. Yeah. So they actually stand, and that's why a person can move. Right. It's in the blood, and not when the turning over the it's in the blood. So and it needs a specific amount of blood to be able to bound to the body. So meaning when a person has for shalom loses too much blood, he dies. right? So because the soul cannot be bound to the body, right? So, and this is the soul. The part of the soul is actually that stays in a grave when person dies. So when people come go and pray on the grave of tzaddik, and that's the part of the soul that is there. It's not going to Shamayim. Rabbi, I wonder if you can explain more why it would be permissible for a man to stay and lock his door. It seems it would be considered not being careful enough from the sin. Okay, so we have several examples, but let's look in one of the examples, right? Rabbi, I wonder if you can explain more why it would be permissible for a man to stay if he locks his door. It seems it would be considered not being careful enough from the sin. So the examples, the two scenarios that we gave at the end of that class were so step back. So the topic was in the middle of the night, right? So in the middle of the night, so we say one shomer is not enough, right? The one shomer, regular shomer is not enough, right? One shomer is a watchman is not enough, and if his or her regular sleeping hours, right? So if usually a person he's a shomer, let's say. A child, as you said, a woman. Let's say she's divorcee with a child. Let's say 9 years old, right? And there is another man, right? So, right, and another man. So technically, during the day, is the child would be like shomer. There is no problem. But after when it's his bedtime. So he's not going to be shomer, or there is somebody else, some other person. But if it's his or her regular sleep hours, or they're very comfy on the couch or something, maybe not in the bed, they're going to fall asleep, right? So they're not good shomer. So and plus we said something, it's very interesting. What was it? We said that some poskim say that morning hours after the what you call it, after the daybreak. So it's a time when many people get up. So his sleep is not as strong as the one like in the middle of the night, right? So he's more likely to get up, and that's why we say there is some leniency when we say that even there were two shomrim during the night. So one shomer is not enough. Regular. So we said it was a woman that has two children. One is the adult son, and one is this little one, 6 years old. An adult son left in the morning, went to shul, went to yeshiva, let's say, right? And now this boarder, who is like a stranger, he found out that now he realized it's only him, this woman, the hostess, and plus her little son. So according to the first opinion, there is no problem. But other poskim say absolutely not. So they say in the morning, a person is as sound asleep as in the middle of the night, right? Nobody. It's very hard to get up in the morning, right? So that's why they say absolutely not, right? So what this guy has to do? One opinion was if he has an early minion somewhere, he can somewhere to go until the child wakes up or something. Yes, he should leave. But if there is no minion, there is nowhere. It's middle of the winter. It's very hard for him, like or summer. Like where exactly you want him to go? So he can rely on a lenient opinion and just stay in his room, but lock his door, meaning that it is protection that nobody's coming, right? Of course, we have to understand. Just continue with the question. I mean, all of the situation, it's only a matter of time. Well, what if she's in the house and this child of hers go to school or go to his neighbor to play? So this guy is not allowed to stay with this woman, right? This boarder, right? It's yeah. So of course, as this rabbi say we have to go by abide by a stringent opinion. So, but stringent opinion at least will lock your door. Okay, but of course it's better not to be in that situation. But not everybody can afford it in their own apartment, or to live with a roommate. Also costs a lot of money. So, what can I do? But to rent a room from somebody is cheaper. And the plaza border usually mean that they eat there as well. At least maybe shachris, not shachris, in the morning, breakfast. Okay. So let's go to the next question. And said, I wonder what does treating one's husband like a king means in practice? Is it a sin for a wife do not obey his husband's requests, assuming the requests are not against halacha? Okay, so let's see. So I wonder, what does treating one's husband as a king means a practice? So treat as a king, meaning of course as we understand respect. But what is the respect? So Shulchan Aruch tells us it's very simple. When he comes to a house, so a woman should not be on the phone, should not be doing whatever she wants to do. So she has to get up and show him affection, something say hello, do you need to eat, be in his service, basically. So that's what it means. So she cannot say if you want the food in the refrigerator and she walks away talking to your girlfriend on the phone. That's not how you treat the king. When the kings come to your house, you give him all of the attention that he deserves or does not deserve. But let's say he does deserve. All right. So same. That's how a woman must treat her husband, right? Whatever he said, she must do, unless as it says against halacha. And same with him, he has to treat his wife as a queen. Why? Because the king is married to a queen. Otherwise, if she's the maintenance lady, the maid servant. So king cannot be married to a maid servant. Otherwise, he's not a king. So he has to treat her with respect too, right? So that's what it means in a nutshell. Okay. So next question. A woman forgets Yael v'Yova in amidah. Does she have to repeat? That's a very good question. What about other additions like 1 Tisha B'Av, Hanukkah Purim, public fast, Rosh Chodesh, Yom Kippur, or Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur? Okay. So from the beginning, if a woman forgets Yael v'Yova, so Yael v'Yova is addition that we said for that we say for holidays, right? And holidays, Rosh Chodesh is one of the minor holidays. We say Yael v'Yova. So it would depend when she forgets. So and same for men as well. So if we forget to say it in Mariv services, so usually women do not pray. I mean, some who want to, of course they can pray. So, but for both, when the men and women, if they forgot Yael v'Yova, this insertion in Shmona Esrei for Rosh Chodesh, we do not repeat, even for a second day, right? And because as you say, in the explanation basically because nobody would make a decision on the pronounced day of Rosh Chodesh at night. So it would be much earlier than that. Okay, so that's why in Marif it's more lenient. But if somebody forgot during the Shacharis or Mincha, that they have to go back. So as I said, I put my finger there, I press it very hard on that page, and I would not release it. I remember the conscience did not release until I get to that point. So otherwise, guess what? It's very embarrassing. Everybody praying something else, but you continue praying. Guess what? Everybody understands that you messed up. No, it's not about being embarrassed, but it's like embarrassing. Like Hashem give you this festival and you messed up. Not a good idea. So for women, women are usually not obligated to pray 3 times a day, but if they electively decided that they're going to pray 2 times a day, so of course if that's what she's obligated herself, yes. If she missed it, she has to go back 100%. If we missed it during Birchas Hamazon, right? So we eat bread. I mean, it's not necessary. It's not obligated, but I'm trying to always to eat bread on Rosh Chodesh in order to say Birchas Hamazon, like a complete version. And if a person forgot to say Yalla V'yover, like this like extension for Rosh Chodesh, we don't go back because technically we're not obligated to say to eat bread. It's not a formal meal. On Yom Tov you forgot, or you forgot on Shabbos, you have to go back, but not on Rosh Chodesh. So next part of the question: what about other additions like Tisha B'Av? So yeah, if a person forgot Tisha B'Av insertion, right? So that it's like I think there are two insertions, and plus the last blessing of peace is also different. So on Yom Tov, on a fast day, during the mincha, you have two different sim shalom. I mean the blessing for peace. So like I think for Sephardim say always the same one, but for Ashkenazim we say a different one on during the regular days, and on during the fast day we switch. Okay, that's the story. Okay. So again, I apologize, I didn't finish. So in this case, you miss all this, no problem. After the fact, on Hanukkah, if Purim, if you did not say it for in amidah, you don't return. Okay, it's proper. Fast day also. There is insertion aneino, so answer us, right? So also it's proper to say it, but after the fact, no problem. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashanah in Yom Kippur, it's a different story. You cannot miss it because in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur we pray using Machzor. Machzor, it's like a special book when you have everything that you need to say. So I mean, it's not proper to pray like from the memory. Plus Shmona Esrei, it's totally different. Of course, 3 first one and 3 last one is the same, yes, but even a repetition absolutely different. So yeah, so like in Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, it's impossible to mess up because it's like totally different order, totally like almost a different text. So you just, I mean, some parts is the same from a weekday, but many things are very different. So you just follow the Magzor, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. Right. And just so you know, if you buy from ArtScroll this Magzor, they're very heavy. They're very highest quality, but very heavy. So me personally, I always try to stand as much as possible on Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. So to hold it in your hand, it's very heavy. So I switched to the like a pocket size. Right, it's it's much easier. Okay. So continue. Rav, next question. If we receive a fruit planted by the giver as a gift, do we need to be concerned that plant is older than 4 years old? 4 years. Does it matter if the giver is a Jew or not? That's a very good question. Again, so what is the question in general terms? So we have this prohibition orla, right? Orla, what does it mean? Orla, so at 3 years, we're not allowed to eat fruits from the tree. On 4th year, you take them to Yerushalayim. Right. So that's the question. If you receive a fruit planted by the giver, fruit planted by the giver is a gift. So they, okay, I apologize. So now I got it. So we got only fruit from this person. Do we need to be concerned that the plant is older than 4 years old? I think, right, it doesn't matter if it's giver Jew or not. Of course, it's a big difference. So in case of the Jew, yes, he's not allowed to benefit. Benefit meaning eating, to eat himself or give it to his animal or give it to me. Right, that's the benefit. A Jew and a non-Jews are not obligated. Right, they can do whatever they want. Right. So yeah, from non-Jew there is no problem. From a Jew it could be a problem if you say, this I don't know, peaches that I just planted 2 years ago. Look, it's nice and sweet. So okay, 2 years ago, no, thank you very much. So we have to explain him what the problem is. Right. So with Jew is a problem, non-Jew no problem. Okay. Okay. So next one. It's continuation to the question. So I'm going to read the question again. Rav, I wonder what does treating one's husband like a king means in practice? Okay, is it the sin for the wife not to obey the husband's request, assuming the request not against halacha? Okay, so continuation. Thank you very much, Rav. For example, if husband asks the wife to cook him something that the wife finds disgusting, or ask her to wear perfume that she really dislikes, should she force herself to comply? Okay, that's very interesting questions, very unusual questions. So again, if the husband asks to cook him something that wife finds very disgusting, So I thought that we have a clip about it. So it says, we learn it in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and it says that if people from outside, right, other people, find that food is disgusting with foul odor or something, like for us it becomes absolutely not kosher, like a pig, like a squirrel or something, 100%. So he's not allowed to do that. So if she's choking on the smell, for example, I think I said in a place where I used to work, there's international teams of people, and they brought food and they start using microwave. So it's I knew what time not to go to cafeteria. Even I would be thirsty, I would not go. Right? I of course I would be smart. I would take my thermos or something, like water bottle, and fill it the time before. So on the lunchtime I would not go. But these people, they eat the food you will pass out from the smell. So for a Jew, 100% forbidden. So in some sense, this person goes against halacha. There's something wrong with the soul if he's attracted to this kind of food that is disgusting to a wife. So in this case, I have to explain him. There is a line. Okay. Or ask her to wear perfume she really dislikes. So again, so he's not allowed to make you suffer. You understand? So to obey him, to be nice to him, to cook to him, right, all other things, yes, that's fine. But if it is a disgusting perfume and something I don't know, where did I go? Or in a lobby, I had to go somebody in a building, and it was in a lobby. The guy was walking in front of me, like a middle-aged guy, and of course he held the door for me. I said thank you, and then we walked. I after him, in the lobby. I almost choked. He had so much perfume. It's disgusting. It's I don't know. Maybe somebody gave it to him. Maybe he paid money. It's so disgusting. I don't know, for me, too much. And the guy was walking on the street. I don't know. It's not like he's going out from his apartment. No, he coming back to his apartment. Right, so disgusting. Right, so yeah. So one again. So we cannot do something that the disgusting for other people. So and she has to tell him that I don't like perfume. Right? So let her pick for his perfume. It's proper for men not to use perfume, but if wife likes, in the house you can use. Well, this cologne they call it, right? But some men if somebody wear this cologne, so there is always all of these people. There is something wrong with that people. Ashkafa buys 100%, but many other things as well, halachically also. All of it, from Jews, all that I know who wear perfume, there is a first arrogance over the roof. There is a perfume as a statement. Right, this cologne is a statement. Okay. Right. So perfume we said. This we said. Should she force herself to come? No. It's not force ourselves. Not in these things. I mean, because it's only a matter of time that she's going to explode, and she's going to tell him whatever she's been thinking about this perfume for the past 11 years, and he's going to tell what she's. Right, something about her and her mother, so I'm not good. Yeah, just tell them right away. Okay. Continue. Next question. Rabbi Sefer Shoftim 5 says the Devorah sang. Okay. I wonder, was it in private? And if Rabbi can explain who it was permitted for her to sing. I don't remember exactly what was the circumstances. The word sang, it's about the victory. I don't know. I mean, the woman can sing to other women. There is no problem. Right? So, I mean, there is no man. They can sing. What is the problem? Okay, so again, I don't remember exactly what the circumstances. Also, Rabbi, when I was trying to investigate, I found on Shulchan Aruch Harav website name of the Talmud that Yael, in the name of Talmud, that Yael had relations with Sisera to tire him out, so she could get the sparks of holiness from him, but also to kill him. Was she obviously very righteous and praised by our prophets and the sages? But according to the Pshat, it is hard to see why it is not adultery. It's very interesting. So again, we're talking about Yael, who the sister was the biggest enemy of the Jews. Guess what? In my company, I had a person named Mark Cicera, Italian guy. It's very interesting. I mean, we had very good relationships, but I always knew. I said, but you know who Cicera is? He said, no, who? Tell me. You tell me. He said, I'm from old family. Okay, from Sicily. I don't know, but he's all Italian. Of course, American. I mean, I don't think he speaks Italian, but yeah, very interesting. So this Cicera was the biggest enemy of the Jewish people. Right, and from his mother wailing after he did not come back on time, we learn how to sound shofar. So today was the first day. Today is the first of Elul when we sound shofar in the morning. Right, it's very interesting. So we learn from who? From his mother, wicked mother. So and why she was wailing? Because he got delayed, right? He probably raped the Jewish women, and they do all of these terrible things, right? But why he's delayed? Let them kill all of the Jews and come back. I'm so lonely here. That's what non-Jews think, right? Very interesting. So again, going back to the story, the Yael had relations with Sisera. I don't know. I never heard about it. I mean, it could be possible, but. The story goes that he was running even without the horse, so he was very tired and he was very thirsty, and she gave him a cheese and milk, or so, cheese and wine, I think, and he fell asleep from the tiredness. I'm not sure about these things. I mean, maybe they are in some other sense, meaning that they get sparks of it. I mean, when person is in distress and he run here for his life and he asks for protection, the last things on his mind is arise a relationship, I think, right? So and she killed him. It's very interesting how she killed him. So she actually followed the halacha. So we have a halacha that women should not wear the men's dress, and men should not wear a women's dress. So, and one of the article of clothing is weapons. So women should not carry weapons, and she did not kill him with a weapon, right? But she took the peg from the tent with a hammer and bang it through his temple. Right, so very interesting. Following the halacha. Okay. Right, so that's the way I know the story. Maybe the story is not that means maybe not straightforward. Maybe they mean something else. I don't know. So that's why I don't want to comment. But that's how I know the story. So she was righteous for sure. And plus, logically, it does not make sense. People when he's scared for his life, the whole army is behind him. And he would think of arise. And he said, please watch me, let me sleep a little, and you actually stay on guard, right? Okay, so next one. Next question. For example, okay, so it can continuation another question. For example, if a husband asks the wife to cook him something that the wife finds disgusting, or asks her to wear a perfume she really dislikes, should she force herself to comply? We said no. Okay, so continue. Thank you, Rav. What if food is not disgusting according to the general opinion, but the wife finds it horrible? I mean, it's not the general opinion that matter. I mean, it's because he's in the house, her opinion matter that he's suffering, right? But I mean, I apologize. I'll take it back. Generally, if everybody would find this food disgusting, and they would hear, and he said, "I ate yesterday such a good piece of I don't know whatever piece," right? Even though it's kosher, but it's not very sounded very very tasty to other people. So yeah, it would be forbidden. But in this case, for sure, if she's she's around and she has to cook and suffer, no. Okay. So continue. Yeah. So don't do it. Next one. Rav, I wonder if there is any prohibition against women walking barefoot, both indoor and outdoor, for the modesty reason and health reason. Okay, I was recently asked this question, believe it or not. It's very interesting. So somebody said, in my different class, so a guy said that why is it forbidden to walk barefoot? I said, forbidden to wear barefoot? And he sent me sources from another person. It's very interesting, right? So I wonder if there is prohibition walking barefoot. So indoors there is no problem. So you can walk indoors. So if at outdoors, so say connection with the soil, not good. I mean, if it's in your backyard, nobody sees you. There is no problem. Somewhere in I don't know, in the forest, wherever we are, there is no problem. So if people don't see it, but just so you know, in the Middle East, so people would walk barefoot, especially not very rich people, right? And all the Jews live in Iraq, Iran, so Yemen, all of these countries. So they I think in Bukhara, Samarkand, all of these countries, they would were locals were walk barefoot, and Jews were. Women as well. So it was not something that improper, right? Something not immodest. But for example, in Europe, I don't remember that somebody would walk barefoot. Maybe kids, maybe very very poor family that do not have anything else. But other people, it was absolutely improper to wear barefoot. And actually, Talmud says a person should be prepared to sell the beams of his house and not to walk barefoot, like because it's so disrespectful, right? Disrespectful to himself, right? So because of the modesty reason, so a woman, yes, should not walk barefoot in front of the public, basically. But if she's on the beach, like some secluded beach, she wants to walk barefoot, there is no problem. Right, beach is maybe beach is a different story. I would say, not story like exception, because in the places where usually people walk barefoot, there is no problem. So, for example, in the bathhouse, so usually people don't walk in something in the bathhouse, right? So, in the pool area, right? So next one, we have a question about love in Eretz Yisrael. I wonder if we are obligated to hope to move to Eretz Yisrael. If we don't hope to do so because of the political situation recently, should we strive to change this perspective? So again, question about love in Eretz Yisrael. I wonder if we are obligated to hope to move to Eretz Yisrael. So we hope. So before we continue, do we have to love Eretz Yisrael? Yes, absolutely. There is obligation, but to hope to move there. I mean, when time comes, it's all part of the redemption. So when redemption comes, when the redemption starts, Mashiach comes, right? So it's obligation. So like the bigger, it's only one part of the puzzle, things that is going to happen when Mashiach comes. So it's only one part of it. You understand? Some people go move to Eretz Yisrael, and it's not good for them, right? They suffer tremendously. They cannot adapt. They cannot adapt to the mentality. It's the communist mentality, 100%, right? And they right. So people, for example, from communist country, from Russia, they come. They feel at home. You understand? But when American comes, it's very shocking for them. The whole environment, the whole attitude, right? It's but they as we spoke to some of them, they say we gradually change the environment, right? Okay, Beezrat Hashem. Right, so obligation. So I mean, there's there's no special obligation for us to move, right, or to hope to move, right? I mean, that's why it's not. I mean, politics, of course, it's a big deal. Like, but just so you know, the land of Israel right now it's considered to be exile, as you live in exile and they live in exile. Even though when they live in physically in Eretz Yisrael proper, it's still considered to be exile. Why? Because the government is a foreign government. It's like a Roman government of this Zionist government. There is not such a big difference, right? Those people hate religious people, right, and try to stop them being religious. Right, and these people hate religious people and try to stop them being religious. Well, where's the difference? Okay. So let's see the questions. We had a few questions before the class. One second. So one question that was not answered last time. I'm not sure how I missed it, but okay, possible. So question like this: we have after long toxic relationship, is divorced woman allowed to apply allowed to apply the rules of Baal Teshuvah in order to forgetting her first husband, meaning change her name and her place and do Teshuvah? Interesting question. Okay, so again, we have a question about toxic relationships. Okay. Is divorced woman allowed to apply the rules of Baal Teshuvah in order to forget her husband, meaning to change her name and a place to do Teshuvah? Okay, so somebody had a very bad marriage and very bitter divorce, and now and she cannot get over it. I mean, if for example, if he lives in this town, and so from time to time she meets his sister, his mother, him, like in a supermarket. If it's in the same community, let's say a small community, so yeah, maybe it's better to move to a different community. But change the name, I don't know. What should she change the name? Right, again, if you need it, she can do whatever needs to do, but the root cause, like we have to understand, it's much deeper. So he was the person who tortured her. Maybe she was also not not Sarah Imeinu. Let's put it this way. Maybe, right? So she has to do Teshuvah because if Hashem sent her this relationship, because she deserved it. Why she deserved it? She has to work on herself and see why exactly, and why like Teshuvah. It's not only like to change the name, change location, change ourselves, so and change our attitudes. And sometimes, like even people out there, you just ignore them, right? Learn to ignore them and change your life. But again, remember, these people can give you ayin hara, right? This ex can give you ayin hara. So if it's possible to, if for example they stay in this community, or maybe the ex-husband moved away. So in this case, what is the problem? Why she has to move? Usually it's not easy for people to move. If you have your family here, you have friends here, you know everybody. So, but again, the toxic relationship, it's not only one-sided. So like I know it's firsthand from the stories. Like one time one person called me, and right, we used to be friends. Actually, I was his tutor. Many years ago, and he asked me if we can host one person, lonely lady. She's a widow, right? She can host you. Okay, say, well, what is the name? And name sounds familiar. She was actually from my shul, right? And she came, and she was not that old. Maybe back then, maybe in her 60s, mid 60s. Okay. So and she started telling us about her relationship with the children. So me and my wife almost fainted. Like, you normal? You really sad? So I asked her. I remember like 3 times. I said, did you say so to your daughter? Said, yeah. What did she expect? Like, okay, with attitude like that. So the children move as far as possible, and they say basically don't. They had the grandchildren. Say don't visit us. I mean, just stay where you are. And they went to Florida, I think like so, and then she was suffering. She was writing letters, try to call, but after all of the abuse, and she was honest. I mean, yeah, but her mother. Okay, you're her mother, but this girl is like your daughter is 25 years old, something. I don't remember, like something in her toys. She has her family, children. She does not need your abuse to hear your abuse, like that she's a bad person. You understand? So it was like toxic relationships, but it was like her fault. Like we tried to nicely to tell her, but she was like, she just needed the place for Shabbos, for somebody to listen to her. And this guy said, so can you please host her every maybe every Torah Shabbos? Say, you know what, you host her. Like with people like that, it's like negativity upon negativity. Who needs that? Okay. Of course, I did not say that, but I said, please cross me out from the list. You asked me one time for a favor, we did a favor, but that's it. Okay, so now continue. If one or two of the parties are not capable of forgetting the former partner because they're still attached on a soul level, or this is merely psychological whim. Right. Okay, so I'm not sure if this second part is related. Does the Satan also get involved in putting the person constantly through the situation and will get him/her to remember their former partner in order to entice the person into thinking about their former partner often and not move on and thereby ruin upcoming potential opportunities to die? Okay, so let's do it again. So, I mean, we answered something similar to that in yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday, I don't remember. But let's see, not this question for sure. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that's the question. Okay. Well, one of the parties not capable of forgetting their former partner. Is it because they're still attached on a soul level? It's merely psychological whim. I think it's a psychological whim on a soul level only if they have chuppah, right? And they did not get the get. So a woman that did not get the get, so she's not allowed to remarry. Why? Because when they do proper marriage, they are actually attached on a very different level in Shammai. So in Shammai, they are attached. Maybe they 10 years they live apart. Doesn't matter. Maybe he has different family. Does not matter. So this link is still there. And so in order, the only way to sever this link is only through the get. So get is it's not piece of paper or something like I mean it is piece of paper, but it's very very important piece of paper that can sever that link. That's why all of the details that how the get is written, how it was presented, this and that, very very important. It must be done with a qualified person. Okay. Right. Then it is on soul level. But otherwise it's merely psychological. Maybe because she said no to me. Okay, she said no to me, so I'm not good. And people like the forbidden fruit, right? So whatever is not allowed, so that's all they want. So that's maybe something like that. But in our case, in the person who learns Musar, we have to know life is very very short. That's not. It's not my purpose in this world only to be this person. This person does not want me. This and that did not work out. So next we continue. What is next mitzvah? Oh, for me to get married and try to procreate. Okay, so that's that's what I need to do. This girl does not want. No problem. What is the next girl? Oh, this girl said that I'm handsome and maybe I'm even funny. Okay, like we have a similar hashkafa, so let's get married. That's it. So we simplify things, right? It's no time to waste on these things. Okay. So next part of the question: does the Satan also get involved, putting a person constantly through the situation that will get him or her remember their former partner? So as we said yesterday, so if you get rid of all of these things that remind you of the former partner, it should go away easily, right? In order to entice the person to think about their former partner. Okay. So we have to make ourselves forget about it, right? And get busy. So the busier person is, especially of course busy with learning Torah. So these relations would be long gone and forgotten, right? So people forget their loved ones, right? That's why one guy started saying Kaddish for his father in my shul, right? And for the parents, we have to right? He would have to say the kaddish for a year for a parent, right? Why? But for a spouse for 30 days. It's very interesting. So for a parent, the mourning period 12 months. For a spouse, 1 because spouse they're not going to forget that quickly, but parent they would, unfortunately. Hashem knew how we operate on psychological level. That's why he said, yeah, you continue saying kaddish. You continue doing that, right? And after sometimes after a year, some people do after 30 days, but it's not very common. But after the year, a person would install a gravestone, right, in order not to forget. Because after a year, everything gets forgotten. Even you love that person very, very much, right? So, and again, is Satan, but like if of course Satan is using whatever tools that are going to work for us. So if I say these things like I don't know, the sport game, for example, it's not relevant to me. So he's not going to use that tool at all. So, but if person say he would think about this relation, so Satan would provide for him all the opportunities to think about it. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, he uses whatever work. But if I like put a wall, like iron wall, it's not going to work out for me. It's over. She's happily married with somebody else, so let you be married with somebody else. No problem. I wish you best, but it's not. I have a different life. Okay, so next question. Rav, is selichos considering penitential prayer? Can one say selichos on Rosh Chodesh? So again, the question is selichos consider penitential prayer? Yes, 100%. Selichos is penitential prayer. So Sephardim started on Rosh Chodesh, right? On Rosh Chodesh Elul, I think, or after Rosh Chodesh, I'm not sure. I think from Rosh Chodesh, I think, right? They started saying selichos. Ashkenazim start Shabbos of the week before Rosh Hashanah, right? So, but no less than 4 days. If it's 4 days, they start like 1 week before, right? So for sure it's special prayer, right? Selichos. Can selichos can be you saying selichos on Rosh Chodesh? On Rosh Chodesh we have a different procedure. We call it Yom Kippur Katan, right? Small Yom Kippur, and many people. I don't remember who is from our sages was the biggest in it. Chaim maybe is it some Chazanish? I don't know. Somebody of the greatest. So he was pushing this idea. That it's not idea. This thing. It's optional, right? This Yom Kippur Katan, meaning the people fast before the Rosh Chodesh, and they say these special prayers. And I don't exactly remember what they say. Maybe they say this mincha of Yom Kippur, right? So if you check in your Siddur, like I would say it's maybe at the end of the Siddur. So it's like long confession prayer, right? So you basically you pray regular mincha, and at the end of the Shmona Esra, you go to this special section. I mean, it's very long. I maybe personally I read very slow, so it's maybe even 10 or 15 minutes. Not 15, but maybe 10 minutes, right? Maybe 15. I don't remember. But what else do they say? I never went to these services, but the person who I learned with, he's been going to the services like for 30 years, maybe more, like always, like it's his thing. Okay, so check if you want. I mean, it's again, most of the people don't do it, but there is special minyanim for that. Yes, Yom Kippur Katan. It's many small Yom Kippur. So next one, does Sephardi blow shofar start in the second of Rosh Chodesh? If not, when do they start to blow the shofar? It's a good question. I don't remember. I think they would start from Rosh Chodesh. I think, but I'm not sure. So, but it's anyway. It's an end of the prayers, right? Okay. So next one, we have a question about listening to the hilus when a depressed person needs to be heard. Okay, if one is allowed to warm up, to warn him, to tell him that it's only time opportunity. Yes. So the question is, we're allowed to listen to the hilus. When somebody is sharing us to feel to help a person feel a little better, yes, we're allowed, right? But and at the same time, people start feeling good. They start smiling now. No more sad face because now they're telling you all of the secrets of the story. So you have to stop them, right? And tell them, okay, one time that's enough, but that's it. Yes. So I think all others we answered, but let me quickly check. I think we've answered all the questions, unless we have something on the bottom. Okay, so last question. If there is a time, I wonder how to understand contradiction in aggadah. Heard Rabbi Reuven Shlita say that many times it is not contradiction, only seems to be, and also that does not affect the halacha, so it is inconsequential. I wonder if the correct midrash will be revealed in the time of Mashiach. No. Okay, so the question if sometimes it's contradiction in aggadah, right? So it's like we don't learn halacha from aggadah, right? From the story. I mean, there's a support, but we've actually learned from a different sources. But in order to understand this contradiction, you have to read the Medrash Rabbah. In many times, the Medrash Rabbah concludes what actually transpired. And today, if you buy Medrash Rabbah Art Scroll, I have all of the commentary on the bottom and this insight, like deep insight, like explaining some ideas. So it's mind blowing. I don't remember anything that we had contradiction. Right, so even there is contradiction, but when they explain, no, this sage said about this situation, and this sage about that situation. It has nothing. One has nothing to do with another. Right, so there is no contradiction. Okay, so I think we finished. So Medrash Rabbah, right? It's on all parshas. So I've been learning Medrash Rabbah for many years. I mean, we do it only once a week, only 45 minutes. But it's very, very involved, very, very interesting, very deep stuff. So I would say it's one of the other things to recommend it to learn with your spouse. Very deep, very, very simple language. Some things a little harder, but most of the things very, very interesting. Right. All right. So thank you very much. No more questions. Good night until tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to continue with our class Kosher Kitchen about kosher utensils. Thank you very much and good night.